So, after what could have been the most lackluster zombie episode I've ever seen, and I've watched the latest seasons of Walking Dead, and it's now established Pike as an accessory to murder, what has Strange New Worlds got in store for us this time?
How about a malfunctioning holodeck mystery?
What is this? The next generation?
Hang on, just hold on a minute. Pike's an accessory to murder?
The doc admitted to him he killed that Klingon last season, and Pike won't report him to the authorities. He's cool with that.
It seems Pike's not the hero we need, nor the one we deserve.
I was certain this might have been the thing that got him bigger to lose his chief medical officer status, but no.
But what will it take for him to lose his position? Can we get back to this episode?
Oh yeah, of course.
But just for the record, Pike conspired to conceal Una's genetic alterations from Starfleet, so it seems he'll protect his crew no matter what they do. And with that, let's talk about this week's episode, A Space Adventure Hour.
Great iridescent egg, where do we start?
Well, it's supposed to be a fun romp through the holodeck,
which shouldn't exist yet.
Actually, a version of the holodeck did appear in the animated series from the 70s, when it was called the Recreation Room.
It's an obvious homage to that episode, and they refer to it as such. Once. And then they just call it the Holodeck from then on. Apparently, it's a shortening for Rec Room, if you can believe that.
It's obvious this was designed to be a loving nod to the next generation, who all too often had the Holodeck go wrong for reasons.
But it didn't really work. For one thing, the episode's pre-title sequence is a recreation of a 60s show which is mentioned within the Holodeck simulation, except the simulation isn't running yet, and the computer won't know the premise of the simulation until later in the episode when La'an gives it the parameters. It makes zero narrative sense.
A part of me started to wonder if they were going to insinuate the original series was but a collection of holonovels.
Oh, the haters would have loved that. Or, more accurately, they would have loved to hate that. Thankfully, that didn't happen, even if Paul Wesley did his best,
or worse,
impersonation of William Shatner in those scenes.
But it was a fun moment.
That's beside the point, GG. The only time the 60s sci-fi scenes made sense were when La'an and Spock were looking at the discarded footage to try and find a clue as to who the murderer is. There's really no reason to have it anywhere else.
This episode attempts to be a traditional holo murder mystery, like The Long Goodbye and Elementary Dear Data, and as usual, the safeties are off, and the holodeck starts drawing too much power from the Enterprise, putting the whole ship in danger.
But how much power can it take to recreate a single location? It's not like anything was going weird in the simulation itself. Why did the holodeck need so much power?
That was never explained.
And the danger it caused by taking all the power was but a tiny part of this episode, which was quickly solved anyway. Oh, and somehow Ortegas is now back on duty. I guess you can get over PTSD pretty quickly in the future.
The main focus was on the mystery itself, and I have to admit, murder mysteries can be fun, even though this particular one didn't add up.
What do you mean?
La'an plays a detective brought in to solve a murder. The murder happened before she got there, and then another happens right in front of her, which prompts her to call in Spock for help, but it turns out the Spock she called in was a hologram. The program essentially tricked her, which in itself is cool and all, and a fun twist.
Except, fake Spock is supposed to be the murderer, but he only appeared after the first two. He couldn't possibly be the murderer, even though La'an insisted in the big reveal that he poisoned the woman when he wasn't even in the room, and didn't even exist.
Actually, the show tried to be clever, because Holospock was there from the very start in the holodeck waiting for La'an, before the program even started. Except, unbeknownst to La'an, the program had secretly already begun, because now, computers can trick you by pretending they're not running when they are.
And you think that's clever?
I did say, try to be clever. I agree, it doesn't make much sense. And of course, once the mystery is solved, the holodeck releases control and allows itself to be shut down.
Oh, and the big reveal that fake Spock was a hologram is so similar to Elementary Dear Data. In that one, the computer created an opponent to defeat Data, not Holmes, a simple twist of the tongue which created problems for our heroes. Here, La'an asked the computer for a mystery to challenge her, not her character. Same concept.
And then, Pike is full of disdain for the project and strongly suggests the whole technology should be shelved, even ignoring Scotty's ideas to make the whole experience safer for the users and the ship. But wasn't that the whole point of the exercise?
To test the technology, see if it works, and provide solutions if it doesn't?
It was just a gimmick to explain why we wouldn't see the technology again for nearly 100 years.
Except we would see that technology on that very same Enterprise in just a handful of years, in The Practical Joker, the episode this very episode referenced at the start.
It's really disappointing. It's like they tried to do an homage to Next Gen and the original series without properly understanding what made those so special.
I'm sorry, Commander, but they did understand it. The speech that Holohura had explained the very essence of Star Trek, how a low-budget sci-fi show would inspire countless people to improve the world and make it a better place. That's exactly what the original show and even Next Gen did.
Okay, they understood it, but they're not replicating it.
Which is what's making the current season so disappointing.
And then there's Spock falling for La'an, which shows they don't even understand how Vulcans work.
Maybe his Ponfar's imminent. It is every 7 years, you know. There is one thing I did enjoy out of it all, though. The Conan Doyle quote. Got it in one.
What's so special about it?
Well, all the way back in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, Spock tells something which divided the fanbase and caused endless discussions.
An ancestor of mine maintained that if you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
Yeah, having an ancestor of Spock be a fictional character was the dumbest moment of an otherwise excellent movie.
And yet the answer was so obvious, as this Spock said in this episode.
As my ancestor, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, would write, the game is afoot.
That's such a simple solution.
But not enough to save this episode, I'm afraid. A rewarding space adventure hour, 1.5 paws. Do let us know what you thought in the comments, and if you like what we do,
And how we do it.
and you feel you'd like to help us out,
Please consider joining our Patreon.
As long as you can afford it, of course.
we'll leave a link in the description and pinned comment. See you all next time, and until then, live long,
And may the Force be with you. Except fake Spock is supposed to be the murderer, but he only appeared after the first two.